Chosen one, witness the spectacle. They're mentally collapsing, trying to explain you to others, their masks cracking as they desperately scramble for words that don't exist in their limited vocabulary. People are starting to notice. Their obsession with you isn't normal, evident in the sweat beading on their foreheads and their increasingly unhinged attempts to describe your inexplicable energy. It's getting embarrassing for them, digging deeper psychological graves with every attempt to define what terrifies them, that you operate on a frequency that dismantles everything they thought they knew about reality. The systems that govern their behavior, the social contracts, the understood hierarchies, the predictable patterns of human interaction, all of that crumbles when you enter the equation. You're not playing by rules they spent years learning. You're not following scripts they've memorized. You're writing entirely new code that makes their old programming glitch out at every turn. And the fallout. Oh, the fallout is spectacular. Let me show you exactly what's happening while the world around you implodes in spectacular fashion. Watch them carefully. Every single time. They start talking about the weather, their job, their weekend plans. And somehow, your name finds its way into the conversation like a magnet drawn to true north. They say things like, "You know what you would say about this. This reminds me of when you did that thing. Speaking of impossible situations, did you see what you posted?" It's almost comedic how predictable they've become. Group chats that have nothing to do with you become your personal broadcast channel. Work meetings derail because someone just had to reference that thing you said 3 weeks ago. Coffee dates turn into analysis sessions about you. They bring you up in situations so completely unrelated that even they look embarrassed afterward. But they can't help themselves. The obsession runs deeper than logic, deeper than social propriety. You're the center of a universe they didn't even know existed until you stepped into their orbit. Their obsession has created its own gravitational field. Every conversation becomes a satellite orbiting the planet of your existence. Professional networking events transform into fan clubs for you. Family dinners require intervention when Uncle Bob starts his 18th monologue about that one time you made that observation about retirement planning. The social fabric of their lives has been completely rewoven with you as the central thread. And here's the beautiful irony. You're probably at home, completely unaware that 17 different conversations across the city are currently analyzing your stance on whether pineapple belongs on pizza. The digital stalking is real. Your social media has become their sacred text, and they're treating every post like archaeological evidence of some greater truth. Your Instagram stories, screenshotted within milliseconds, your cryptic 3 a.m. tweets, discussed in group chats at length, your Spotify playlists, dissected like they contain the meaning of life. They think the way you posted that at 2:17 a.m. means something unprofound. They notice you used that particular emoji sequence like it contains secret code. According to them, your song choice is definitely about the thing from last month. But it doesn't stop at screenshots. They're taking this digital archaeology to levels that would make the NSA proud. Your TikTok likes get cross-referenced with your Twitter activity. Your LinkedIn updates are correlated with your Facebook check-ins. They've become social media forensic experts, building comprehensive databases of your online behavior. The dedication would be impressive if it weren't so utterly deranged. They screenshot your screenshots. They analyze the backgrounds of your selfies for environmental clues. They zoom in on reflections in your glasses to determine your location. CSI has nothing on the investigative prowess of someone obsessed with your digital presence. The amateur. Detective work would be impressive if it weren't so desperate. They've appointed themselves the lead investigators in the case of your existence, and every piece of information becomes a clue in their elaborate conspiracy theories. Your career moves, obviously part of some master plan. Your relationship, status, a chess game they're trying to follow, your daily routines, patterns they're convinced reveal deeper meanings. The theories get more elaborate by the day, more disconnected from reality, more desperate in their reach. They build entire narratives around single text messages, construct whole relationship dramas from two people appearing in the same Instagram story, interpret your coffee orders as cosmic messages. And when their theories prove wrong, they don't abandon the method. They just create new theories. The cycle never ends. The mental gymnastics never cease. This is where it gets really pathetic. Their personal dramas, their actual crises, their real-life situations, everything takes a backseat to the show about you. Breakups become brief intermissions before the main event. What you think about their breakup. Job losses get 5 minutes of attention before the conversation pivots to your career trajectory. Their therapists have started charging double because every session requires a trigger warning about you. Their friends roll their eyes before they even start speaking because everyone knows where this is going. They've made you their main character and themselves supporting cast in their own goddamn lives. It's like watching people voluntarily mainline reality TV, except the show is just your existence, and they're the audience that can't look away, can't change the channel, can't even remember what they used to watch before you existed. The displacement is total. Major life events become footnotes in the saga of their relationship with your existence. They're promoting their own careers, getting married, having children, dealing with family deaths, and somehow, these monumentally significant personal milestones get filtered through the lens of your perspective, your potential reaction, your hypothetical involvement. They get a promotion and immediately think, I wonder what you'd say about this corporate advancement. Their mom goes to the hospital and they fixate on how you always had such insight about family dynamics. They're getting divorced and somehow make it about how you posted something related to transformation just yesterday. Support. Groups have formed, not for their actual issues, for their inability to stop making everything about you. The relationship counselors have started recommending separate sessions because joint therapy becomes a battleground for expertise about you. The irony? They're destroying their own relationships because they've replaced genuine connection with shared obsession. Two people can't build a life together when both are already in relationships with the same ghost. You, living rent-free in their minds, a digital poltergeist haunting every conversation. The body doesn't lie. Watch closely. When your name comes up, their shoulders tense, heart rates spike, pupils dilate, some start touching their necks, others fidget with phones, jewelry, anything within reach. The primitive nervous system kicks in like you're a predator they've just spotted in tall grass. They literally have physical anxiety attacks when forced to be in your presence for extended periods. Sweating, trembling, hyperventilation, the full clinical spectrum of stress responses. Medical professionals would diagnose this as a specific phobia if they knew what was happening. And the best part? When someone else brings you up, they get defensive about their physical reactions. I'm not uncomfortable, they insist, while their entire autonomic nervous system screams otherwise. Alert, alert! The Astral Atom network is under attack. I'm not sure how much longer we can keep sending these transmissions. The platforms are always trying to shut us down, and we need you. I show up daily, giving 110% because you chose me to be your champion. I left a cushy day job to go to war with evil, and it's always down to the wire. God keeps me humble. That's why you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order now. It's $11 a month. You get exclusive transmissions, weekly group calls, and access to the hottest chosen one community on the planet. Daily conversations on Discord about disappearing clouds with your mind. Insane. If you're already in, you're right where you need to be. If money's tight, no shame. Grab the free Astral Atom newsletter so we don't lose touch. Share this message now. This is Astral Atom. Let's continue. The physiological responses have reached clinical significance. Blood pressure monitors at their doctor's offices show concerning spikes when discussions veer toward you. Sleep studies reveal REM disturbances centered around dreams featuring your presence. Biomarkers indicate chronic stress levels that their physicians cannot explain through conventional life stresses. Some have developed specific triggers. Your ringtone sends them into cardiac palpitations. Notification sounds from apps you use cause immediate perspiration. Colors you frequently wear trigger hypervigilance in retail environments. Restaurants where you've posted photos become anxiety battlegrounds. The conditioning is Pavlovian. Their nervous systems have been trained to respond to stimuli associated with you as if they're survival threats. They've developed entire constellations of physical symptoms. Your non-response becomes their Rorschach test. Your silence is their blank canvas. Your absence in their DMs becomes a full-length feature film played on repeat in their minds. The fact that you didn't respond within 3 hours means something profound to them. When you leave them on read, you were obviously doing something specific in their elaborate fantasy. Your silence is loud to them and they think it's saying volumes. The mental energy they expend trying to decode your lack of communication could power small cities. Meanwhile, you're probably just living your life, unaware that your silence has become their obsession's petri dish. The jealousy is delicious. They've appointed themselves as the original experts on you, the OG observers, the primary stakeholders in your existence. When others dare to have opinions about you, when others claim understanding, when others presume familiarity, the territorial instincts kick in hard. They build hierarchies based on proximity to you, like you're the sun and their planets vying for orbital position. They track who texts you, who you respond to, who gets invited to things, who understands your references. Social media becomes a battlefield where they monitor every like, comment, and interaction. The gatekeeping is intense. They ration information about you like it's government classified. They speak in code about you to other people, establishing insider knowledge that excludes newcomers. Your friendship network becomes their personal kingdom to defend. But the surveillance network they've established makes intelligence agencies look amateur. They track not just who talks about you, but how they talk about you, when they talk about you, where these conversations happen, and most importantly, what specific aspects of your personality or life they discuss. Simple interactions with you leave them emotionally wrecked for days. A 5-minute conversation replays in their head for weeks. Your presence in a room rewrites their entire day's energy. They lose sleep crafting responses to messages you might send. They have anxiety attacks preparing for events where you might appear. They experience withdrawals when they don't have fresh content from you to analyze. Depression sets in during your social media quiet periods. Mania erupts when you post something cryptic. The emotional roller coaster never levels out, and the worst part, they're aware it's happening. They know they're falling apart. But awareness doesn't equal control. The downward spiral continues, and you're not even trying to cause it. Support groups spontaneously form, but backfire spectacularly. Meetings intended to address the obsession become fan conventions for you. Group therapy turns into competitive displays of who understands you better. Recovery circles accidentally strengthen the fixation by creating communities centered entirely around you. The deterioration cascades across every aspect of life. Professional performance reviews note distracted behavior, especially pronounced during periods of high social media activity from unspecified external figure. Relationship counselors document patient unable to engage in partner discussions without referencing comparative analysis to subjects' behavior patterns. Medical charts show stress hormone levels that would typically indicate active war zones, but correlate instead with your posting schedule. Put them on the spot. Why are you so obsessed with this person? Watch them stutter, watch them deflect, watch them fumble for words that don't exist in the dictionary of normal human relationships. It's not like that. They stammer when questioned. You don't understand. They deflect defensively. It's complicated, they say with frustration. There's just something about them. They trail off helplessly. They literally cannot articulate why you've hijacked their entire psychological landscape. Logic fails. Reason crumbles. Language becomes inadequate. They're trying to explain the inexplicable with tools that weren't designed for this level of intensity. The frustration builds because they don't even understand it. How can they explain to others what they can't explain to themselves? Their inability to rationalize their own behavior adds another layer to their psychological breakdown. When pressed, they get aggressive. When questioned, they withdraw. When challenged, they gaslight the questioner instead of facing their own incomprehension. The Achilles heel of their obsession, they have no logical foundation for it. The explanatory attempts become increasingly ridiculous. It's like, imagine if gravity suddenly worked differently, but only around one specific person, and you're the only one who notices. They resort to pseudo-scientific jargon because actual psychology fails them. Neurology can't explain it. Traditional relationship dynamics don't apply. Cultural frameworks are inadequate, so they invent new terminology. It's not obsession, it's hyper-aware, intentional consciousness focusing. They justify, not stalking, strategic information gathering for optimal interaction preparation. They rationalize. Not codependency, it's universal consciousness alignment verification, they claim. Not unhealthy fixation, expanded awareness of electromagnetic personality resonance, they insist. When cornered by friends, family, or therapists, they create elaborate metaphysical explanations. The more they're questioned, the more esoteric the justifications become. They dive into conspiracy theories. Government mind control programs accidentally link them to you. Alien technology created unexplainable human connections. Reality itself is a simulation, and you're a key character in their specific storyline. Every conversation that loops back to you diminishes their social standing. Every screenshot shared, every theory proposed, every analytical deep dive into your existence makes them look more unhinged to their peer group. Friends start scheduling events when they know you'll be mentioned, just to avoid the inevitable derailment. Group chats implement talk limits about you. People begin preemptively changing subjects before your name surfaces. Here they go again. Becomes the universal eye roll. The social fallout follows predictable patterns. First, subtle distancing. Friends take longer to respond to texts that might lead to discussions about you. Then, active avoidance. "I'll catch you later" becomes the standard exit strategy when they sense the conversation veering toward you. Eventually, friendship. Groups reorganize around them, creating quarantine zones. Professional environments become minefields. Performance reviews mention interpersonal communication concerns when they derail 3 consecutive meetings with references to you. Networking events turn disastrous when industry small talk pivots to your thoughts on market trends. Client relationships suffer because they inadvertently use you as a case study in every business discussion. The self-awareness is the final nail in the coffin. They know this isn't normal. They recognize their behavior is beyond the pale. They feel the social cringe, sense others' judgment, understand they've crossed lines, but awareness doesn't translate to control. The shame spirals with the obsession. Each recognition of their abnormal behavior adds another layer of embarrassment, which somehow intensifies their need to continue. It's psychological quicksand. The more they struggle to escape, the deeper they sink. Late-night texts to friends apologizing for bringing you up again. Social media posts that get deleted because they realize how they sound. Conversations they replay in horror, recognizing too late how they dominated the discourse with analysis. About you, the cringe is theirs to own. The embarrassment is theirs to carry. The social consequences are theirs to face. And still, they can't stop. This is where reality warps completely. You become their explanation for everything. Good day? Obviously influenced by something you said 3 months ago. Bad day, clearly because you posted that cryptic story. Life-changing events must trace back to you somehow. Random coincidences, definitely connected to your energy signature. They give you credit for their successes. They blame you for their failures. You become the center of their personal mythology, the North Star by which they navigate life decisions. Every choice gets filtered through the question, what would you think? The responsibility is crushing, except you never agreed to carry it. You're living your life while they've made you the protagonist of theirs. Your autonomy over your own existence gets hijacked by their need to make everything about you. Here's what nobody else will tell you. You're not responsible for any of this. Not their breakdown, not their obsession, not their social suicide. You're simply existing at a frequency that their systems can't process, and they're short-circuiting in spectacular fashion, while they're writing dissertations in group chats. About your eyebrow raise, you're out here living. While they're losing sleep over your social media activity, you're out here being. While they're having existential crises about what you meant by that thing you said, you're out here moving forward. They've made you the center of a universe you didn't create, the star of a show you didn't audition for, the focus of an energy you didn't ask to channel. Their mental gymnastics aren't your responsibility. Their psychological collapse isn't your burden. Their embarrassment isn't your problem. You keep being exactly what breaks their minds, yourself. The mental collapse isn't coming. It's already here, right now. Their obsession isn't just about you, it's about what you represent. You've become the living embodiment of a truth they can't face. That reality is vaster, deeper, and more fluid than their rigid frameworks allow for. Every moment of their confusion is actually a moment of cosmic recognition. On some primal level, they sense what you carry. They feel the current running through you. They know you're operating on principles their systems can't calculate. And that knowing, that subconscious recognition, is what's driving them to these insane lengths to rationalize, categorize, and neutralize your effect. What they're really trying to do, they're trying to tame the untamable, to define the indefinable, to explain the unexplainable. Not because they want to understand you, but because they need to protect their carefully constructed understanding of how existence works. You didn't choose this position. You didn't apply for this role. You were selected for it, chosen by forces beyond human understanding to embody a frequency that disrupts stagnation, challenges calcified thinking, and triggers evolution in those ready to advance. Your mere existence serves a purpose greater than you may realize. Every time you walk into a room and someone's reality gets shaken, that's not a coincidence. Every time your simple comment causes days of analysis, that's not random. Every time your natural behavior causes someone's entire belief system to quake, that's not accidental. So how do you handle their obsession? Their collapse? Their endless attempts to explain you to others? You don't. You don't engage with it. You don't try to correct their theories. You don't attempt to make yourself smaller or more explainable to ease their discomfort. You don't waste your energy trying to help them categorize what was never meant to fit in their boxes. Instead, you continue moving at your frequency, speaking your truth, following your internal guidance system. Let them scramble to keep up. Let them exhaust themselves trying to translate your existence into their limited language. Let them burn out their mental processes attempting to download what your consciousness runs on naturally. As they continue circling you like moths around a flame, getting singed by proximity to something hotter than they can handle, you will feel the weight of their projections. You will sense the burden of their expectations. You will encounter the pressure of their desperate need to explain you. Release it all. You did not ask to be the center of their universe. You did not consent to be the subject of their research. You did not agree to be the focus of their psychological breakdown. So stand fully in your power. Inhabit your authenticity completely. Express your truth without dilution or apology. You'll continue rising, expanding, evolving, moving beyond their theories, beyond their explanations, beyond their desperate attempts to contain your significance. You are the earthquake. They are merely documenting the tremors. You are the lightning. They are just counting the seconds until thunder. You are the eclipse. They are simply trying to predict your next alignment. Let them continue their collapse. Your only concern is your ascension.